Hi, I'm Dorothy, and today we're going to work with apricots. I got a huge box of apricots for my jam making business, but because they were so plump and good this year, I decided I wanted to make something else also. So I try to stay low carb, so today we're going to make a crustless apricot tart, also known as a frangipane, however you want to say it. It's good. Okay, first up is the apricots. Remove the pit by slicing it in half and then just pulling it out with your thumb. Slice each half into four slices or quartered, and then that gives you 8 slices per apricot. Now this recipe, it calls for 3.5 cups, and so there's about 2 apricots per cup. Don't overthink this. It's not a big deal. If you have too many apricot slices left, pop them in your mouth and eat them fresh. And if you don't have quite enough, just space them out a little further on your pattern when you put them on the tart. Now, something to know about apricots. When you bake them, they do get a little sour. So you want to put sugar on them and let them sit for a while in the sugar, which is called macerating. I used 2 tablespoons of sugar, but it's up to you. Don't stress. If you like it sweeter, a little more sugar. And now for the frangipane. You can use a food processor, a stand mixer, a large bowl, whatever you want. First mix the dry ingredients together, the flour, the sugar, and then add everything else. You just want to combine it thoroughly. I added the butter, because I'm using a food processor, in 1 tablespoon increments. If you're using a large bowl, you want to make the increments a little smaller. Just blend that up slightly, add a slightly beaten egg with your egg yolk, 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk that you've done ahead of time, a little bit of almond extract, a little bit of salt, and then you're going to blend this up and combine all of the ingredients. If you're using a food processor, start by just pulsing it a little bit until you get to a smooth mixture is what you want in the end. You'll be able to see what the consistency looks like a lot better when we spread it out on the pan. So the pan, this is a removable tart pan. So you take the bottom out and a little bit of butter, grease the pan so that everything is going to slide off nice and easily. If you want, you can grease a little bit of the sides. However, the frangipane doesn't go up the sides much. Now let's spread it out on the bottom of the pan. As you can see, it's kind of a creamy, gooey batter, and it will puff up and go in between the apricots and be this delightful, semi-sweet, crustless tart. It should spread fairly easily. I'm using a spatula. You can use a knife, anything that you want. Just spread it out until it's about the same thickness all the way through, and then start layering your apricots. Now, the pattern is up to you. I did a pretty easy pattern with just 3 rows of sliced apricots, and that took up practically all of the 3.5 cups that I had. Of course, you can do swirls and you can get really fancy and everything, but this worked out good for me. Another thing that people do sometimes is they just half the apricots and put them almost whole into the pan. I think it's prettier this way. Now, the glaze. The glaze is just a little bit of apricot jam, 2 tablespoons to be precise, mixed with a tablespoon of water. And you're going to put this on with a pastry brush or a spatula again, as soon as the tart comes out of the oven. So I've baked this for 40 minutes at 350 degrees, and now I'm just putting on the jam or the glaze, if you will. It's not necessary, but it does add a little bit of sweetness, and it makes it awfully pretty. Okay, time for a taste test. I thought I would miss the crust, but these are wonderful. Have them with ice cream, whipped cream, or, whoops, all alone. They're wonderful.